dear students, in this module we will learn computation of mode for discrete series. So you know what is discrete series. Values will be there and against that frequency values will be there. That is the discrete series. So computation is divided into two. First one is by inspection and second one is grouping table and analysis table. So how we will decide mode for a discrete series? By inspection. So when we learn individual observation also we have seen that we will just look at the values and we will see which has got the highest frequency. That meaning the value which is repeated the maximum times. The value which is repeated the maximum times, that is the value with the highest frequency. So that is by inspection. So in this discrete series also it's possible. When you're getting a discrete series, you can just look at the values and you can see that which has the highest frequency. So one thing you have to remember, if the maximum frequency, the value with the maximum frequency and the next highest frequency is very wide, this marginal difference is there, then you can go for this inspection method. But if the margin is small or margin is very limited, then you have to go for the grouping table and analysis table. So by inspection, in this case, mode is decided as the variable with the highest frequency. This method is known as method by inspection because just by looking at the values we are deciding the model value. An error of judgment is possible in this case. See in the problem what I will explain with the grouping table and analysis table, value 65 has got the highest frequency. Just by inspection we will see that that is the model value. But when we do the grouping table and analysis table, we will see that 64 was the model value. So error of judgment is possible in this case. So especially when the difference between the highest frequency and the next highest frequency is very small. So in the example I am using for grouping table and analysis table, the frequency difference is very small. Then error of judgment is possible. So if you see this example just by inspection, if you see this observation, the wages, the variable and number of workers. So if you can see that highest frequency is for 310, that is 65. The next highest frequency is 320 with frequency value 50. So there is marginal difference is there. Then you can go for model value is 310. Model wages rupees 310 because that is the highest frequency and the next highest frequency difference 15 values are there. So that you can just go by inspection. But it's always possible to prepare the grouping table and analysis table, and that is the best way of finding the model value when marginal difference is there between the highest frequency and the next highest frequency. So that is what I am going to explain with the grouping table and analysis table. So a grouping table has got 6 columns. It's very simple to learn. So in column 1 what we will do, already we have the frequency values. Whichever the value got the maximum frequency, we will mark that in the analysis table. In column 2, we are finding the maximum frequency in the immediate neighborhood. So we are doing some additions. Second column what we will do, frequencies are grouped in 2s. 2 values each we will take and we will write the totals for all the values in column 2. Column 3, leave the first frequency and then add the values in 2s. Now when we are coming to column 4, the first 3 frequencies we will add. Like that we will continue. In column 5, we will leave the first frequency value and then we will add 3 each. In column 6, we will leave the first 2 frequency values and then we will add 3 each. So this process we will continue for all the remaining frequency values. So in each of the columns, we will mark the maximum total because this has to be represented in the analysis table. So analysis table, from the grouping table, we have to take the information and we have to do the analysis table. So in this table, column numbers are put on the left hand side and the various probable values of mode on the right hand side. See the ending values or the beginning values, frequency values may not be represented in the analysis table because model frequency is always concentrated against the highest frequency values. That will be the center values. So the tail end values and the beginning values we can avoid in the analysis table. Then the values against which frequencies are highest are marked in the grouping table. So these values will be represented in the analysis table. That is what we are going to do. And with the problem, it's very easy to explain. From the following data of marks of 100 students in a class, find out the model class. So marks are there and number of students are there. So now how we are going to do the grouping table. See marks 58, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 68 and 70. The first column that is the frequency values itself. 4, 6, 5, 10, 20, 22, 24, 6, 2 and 1. So which has got the highest frequency? 65 has got the highest frequency, that is 24. So by inspection if you will decide, we will decide that model value is 65. You can see that the next highest frequency is again 64. That has got the frequency value 22. So always I told you, when the difference is marginal difference is only there between the highest frequency and the next frequency, it's always advisable to do the grouping table and analysis table. So here we have to do the grouping table and analysis table because the difference between the highest frequency and next highest frequency is only 22. So grouping table, the first value we'll take from column 1 is 24. So in analysis table against 65, we will put one tally mark. Now column 2, what we are doing? We are adding the values in 2 each. 4 and 6, it's 10. Next is 5 and 10, it's 15. 20 and 22, 42. Like this we will continue. In column 3, what we will do? Leave the first frequency. That 4 we will not consider. So what we will do? 6 and 5 is 11. Next is 10 and 20 is 30. Like this we will complete the values. In column 4, 3 each we will add. 4, 6 and 5. Values 15. Next 3 values 10, 20 and 22. 52. Like this we will complete column 4. Now column 6, leave the first frequency and then add 3 each. 4 we will leave, 6, 5 and 10. It's 21. Next is 20, 22 and 24. Value is 66. Like this we will complete column 5. Now column 6, leave the first 2 frequencies. So 4 and 6 will not be considered. Next is 5, 10 and 20. So the value is 35. Next is 22, 24 and 6. That value is 52. The last 2 values we will not consider because there is 3 values are not there. So this is how we will complete the grouping table. Now in each column we have to find out which value has got the highest frequency. So that we are going to show it in the analysis table. So the first value I told you, column 1 we are getting the highest frequency as 65. So we are putting a tally mark there. Column 2, when we added 63 and 64 frequencies, we got the highest frequency in the grouping table. So we are adding one tally mark against 63 and 64. Column 3, we added frequencies for 64 and 65, we got the highest frequency. So 64 and 65, one tally mark we will give. Like this you have to take the total tally marks. So that is 1, 3, 5, 4 and 1. So by inspection we got the model class as 65. But when we do the grouping table and analysis table, we are getting the model class as 64. So this is the best method of doing that because mode I told you by definition which has got the highest frequency in the immediate neighborhood. So when you learn this process also you have learned that how we are avoiding certain frequency values and then we are adding the values 2 each, 3 each. Like that we are finding the concentration of values towards the highest frequency. So this is the best method we will be following. So model value by inspection is 65 with highest frequency. By definition, model value is the value with the greatest density in the immediate neighborhood. So as per the grouping table and analysis table, model values change to 64. So always we have to use the grouping table and analysis table to identify the model class to avoid error of judgment. See, by 65 if you start the computation for this problem, you will end up getting the wrong answer. So always we have to do the grouping table and analysis table, and this will be the method we are following for continuous series also. So this is what I want to explain with this module. Thank you.